leaflets, or are they coming?
Yes.
Well, good evening, everyone, and Shabbat Shalom. We're so glad that you're here, especially braving this wonderful weather we're having here. It's so exciting. Driving along the highway for us usually takes about 25 minutes, probably took about 45 with all the traffic and the rain and everything. But we're glad you're here, and it's a very special occasion, and we're really excited about to have Bob Eisenstein here and being the recipient of our Bernard Nelson Award. So that's going to be the theme of the service, to honor Bob and all of his accomplishments, and somebody we're a good friend to many of us, and just a wonderful person to have in this congregation. But let's start off singing a couple of songs. We'll start off with a version of Shalom Aleichem, which we don't do so often, but there's a group called Beged Kefet, which used to do this version of it. You have their words on the first page, the inside of your leaflet on the left side. I hope you'll sing along with me. We do two verses, and then there's a kind of a chorus with that Mimelech part in it, and then two more verses. Like this. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hashare, Malachei Hashare, Malachei Elyon, Bimelech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Bimelech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bimelech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bimelech, Malchei Malachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh, Baruch Hu. The next part a little bit higher. Baruchuni l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh, Baruch Hu. Seitchem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh, Baruch Hu. Melech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh, Baruch Hu. Melech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh, Baruch Hu. HaKadosh, HaKadosh, Baruch Hu. Great, kind of a lyrical version of Shalom Aleichem. I'd do one or two more songs, one more song anyway. And this one, we did this a few weeks ago. This is a song that I have Bob in mind for a little bit here, because it's a song about being constructive and about little by little doing the things that you need to do to put things together and to make the world a better place, which in many ways Bob has helped to do this year and many years from now. This is a song called Piece by Piece. You have that also on the next page in your leaflets. A cantor named Robbie Solomon wrote this song quite a few years ago. One of my favorite songs. The work is too heavy for one person alone, and each day it just seems to increase. But when carried by many, oh how light it becomes, taking it piece by piece. The world we are building for our families to share is made up of our words and our deeds. For the sake of our children, we must build it with care, building it piece by piece, piece by piece, till we bring this world together, piece by piece, till we find relief, piece by piece. Some people may tell you that it's useless to try. All your efforts are dust in the breeze. But little by little, we just might stem the tide, taking it piece by piece. That little part again. Piece by piece, till we bring this world together. Piece by piece, till we find relief. Piece by piece. Some people may tell you that it's useless to try. lights dim the tide, taking it piece by piece, taking it piece by piece. That song's from Bob. We good?
I guess so.
All right.
All right. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Great to see so many of you here, and that's quite a testament to Bob that you're quite a draw for services. We should congratulate you every week. We'll double the size of the congregation. So I would like to invite Barak to come on up and open the doors.
There's Elon too.
Oh, there's Elon too. Okay, so Barak and Elon, come on up. Please rise in body or spirit.
Did I hear your name, bro? I just did this yesterday. Where?
Please be seated.
Okay.
And now I would like to invite Bob to come on up and light the Shabbat candles. And I'd like to invite all the past Bernard Award winners to come on up and stand with him. We're going to continue on page 120.
I just use that?
Yeah.
So do I light it now or do you
Just need that.
want me to read it?
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav b'tzibianu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. Having a lot of practice with that today.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Amen, amen, amen. Amen, amen, amen.
And now that we've welcomed the Shabbat, the lights of Shabbat, we're going to continue by welcoming the Shabbat bride into our midst, which you may find on pages 138 and 139. Get your shakers ready. You all have shakers?
Shakers, shakers, shakers.
We're missing some shakers. Kyle, the front row needs shakers. The all-important shakers.
Lecha dodi lekrat kala Pnei Shabbat mikabela Kabbalah. Shamor v'zachor v'dibur echad b'shmiyanu el hamiuchad. Adonai echad u'shemo echad v'shemu tiferet v'litila. V'chadodi v'chad kala b'nei Shabbat v'Kabbalah. V'chadodi v'chad kala b'nei Shabbat v'Kabbalah. Verse 5. Hitoruri, hitoruri, kiva ore, kumi, ori, uri, uri, shidaberi, kavod Adonai alai tigla, lechadodi, lekrat kala, b'nei Shabbat v'Kabbalah. V'chadodi v'chad kala b'nei Shabbat v'Kabbalah. Last verse. Boi v'shalom ateret ba'ala gam b'simcha u'zahola tov emuneh am segula boi chala v'chadodi v'chad kala b'nei Shabbat v'Kabbalah. V'chadodi v'chad kala b'nei Shabbat v'Kabbalah. B'nei Shabbat v'Kabbalah.
And now that we welcome the Shabbat bride into our midst, that concludes the first section of our service, the Kabbalat Shabbat, the welcoming of Shabbat. Now we continue on page 146 with the next section of our service called the Shema U'Virchoteha, the Shema and its blessings. Please rise in body or spirit for the Baruch Hu. Praise Adonai, to whom praise is due forever. Praise be Adonai, to whom praise is due now and forever.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamavorach. Baruch Adonai Hamavorach Le'olam Va'ed.
Page 148. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bivaro ma'ariv harabim b'chokhmah poteach she'arim u'vitmuna mishaneh itim u'machalif et hazmanim u'musader et hakochavim b'mishmerotehem barakia kirsono borei yom v'layla golel or mipnei choshech v'choshech mipnei or u'ma'avir yom u'mevi layla u'mavdil ben yom u'ben layla Adonai Zvaot Shemo El Chai v'Kayam Tamid Yimloch Aleinu L'Olam Va'ed Baruch Atah Adonai Hama'ariv Arabim. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on the evening. Page 150.
Ahavat olam beit Yisrael Amcha ahavta Amcha ומשפטים, אותנו למדת, אותנו למדת. על כן אדוני אלוהינו בשכבנו ובקומנו נשיח בחוקיך ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד כי הם חיינו ויורך ימינו ובהם נגה יומם ולילה, נגה יומם ולילה. כי אהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל.
Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Pages 152 and 153. Hear, O Israel, Adonai is our God, Adonai is one. Blessed is God's glorious majesty forever and ever.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem, Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed. You may be seated. Please turn to page 154 and join me in the chanting of V'ahavta. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levacha uv'chol nafshecha uv'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavta hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha ובלכתך בדרך, ושכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לעוד על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Together, you shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. Take to heart these instructions with which I charge you this day. Impress them upon your children. Recite them when you stay at home and when you are away, when you lie down and when you get up. Bind them as a sign on your hand and let them serve as a symbol on your forehead. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Thus you shall remember to observe all my commandments and to be holy to your God. I am Adonai your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am Adonai your God, Adonai Elohechem Emeth. Now we continue on page 158 with the singing of Mi Chamocha, the song that the Israelites sang when they crossed the Red Sea to freedom from Pharaoh's grip.
Shakers are welcome. Encouraged. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש. נורא תהילות עושה פלא, נורא תהילות עושה פלא, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. מלכותך ראו בניך, וכיים לפני משה ומרים, ואלי ענו ואמרו, ואלי ענו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד.
And now we're going to continue on page 160 with the singing of Hashkivenu. This is a very special prayer because it asks God to create a shelter of peace around us. And so many of us need that shelter of peace right now. We think about the hostages in particular. We think about people in our country who are going through lots and lots of difficulties, people around the world who are in need of a little extra support.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Lishalom V'hamidenu Shomreinu L'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Lishalom V'hamidenu Shomreinu L'chaim. Ushmor Tzeiteinu L'chaim u'shalom me'ata v'ad olam. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim.
Blessed are you, Adonai, guardian of Israel, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem. Now we continue on page 162 with the singing of Vishamru. The people of Israel shall keep Shabbat, observing Shabbat throughout the ages as a covenant for all time.
Vishamru b'nei Yisrael Shabbat, Mazal, Shabbat, Lidorotam b'Olam. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael, Shabbat, Mazal, Shabbat, Lidorotam b'Olam. B'nei Uven, b'nei Yisrael, b'nei Yisrael, Ohoti le'olam. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael, Shabbat, Mazal, Shabbat, Lidorotam b'Olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai, et hashamayim ve'et ha'aretz. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael, Shabbat, Mazal, Shabbat, Lidorotam b'Olam. Uvayom hashvi'i Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael,
page 164 for the next section called the Tefillah, which means the prayer. Please rise in body or spirit.
Anananananana Adonai. Anananananana Spatai Tifta. Ananananana Ufi Yagid. Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha. Ananananana Adonai. Ananananana Spatai Tifta. Ananananana Ufi Yagid. Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha. Ananananana Adonai. Ananananana Spatai Tifta. Ananananana Ufi Yagid. Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha. Ananananana Adonai. Ananananana Spatai Tifta. Ananananana Ufi Yagid. Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha. Ananananana Adonai. Ananananana Spatai Tifta. Ananananana Ufi Yagid. Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha. Page 166. Please join me in the chanting of the Avot. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora El Elyon Gomer Chasadim Tovim V'konei Hakol V'zocher Chasdei Avot V'imahot U'mebig Ula Livnei V'nehem L'ma'an Shemo V'Yahava Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen Baruch atah Adonai Magen Avraham V'Izrat Sarah. Page 168. Ata Gibor Le'olam Adonai Mechaye HaKol Ata Rav Lehoshia Mechakeh Chayim Bechesed Mechaye HaKol Berachamim Rabim Sohamech Nofnim V'Rofei Cholim Umatir Asurim Umkayim Emunato Lishenei Afar Michamocha Ba'al Gevurot Umido Melach Melech Mimi Umchaye Umatzmiach Yeshua V'ne'eman Ata Lehachayot HaHakol Baruch atah Adonai Mechaye HaKol. Page 170. Ata Kadosh V'Shimcha Kadosh U'Kadoshim B'chol Yom Yehallelu Chasela Baruch atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh.
You are holy, your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. Now we continue. Shalva, come on up for a special prayer for the state of Israel on page 552.
אבינו שבשמיים, צור ישראל וגואלו, ברך את מדינת ישראל, ראשית צמיחת גאולתנו. הגן עליה בעברת חסדך, ופרוס עליה סוכת שלומך, ושלח אורך ועמיתך לראשיה, שריה ויועציה, ותקנה בעצה טובה מלפניך, ונתת שלום בארץ, בשמחת עולם ליושביה, ונאמר אמן.
Together, O Heavenly One, Protector and Redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love. Spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there. Amen. Please be seated. Now continue on page 178 with a singing of Shalom Rav, a song for peace.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki ata hu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki ata hu melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov be'einecha livarech et Amcha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה b'shlomecha. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam.
We read together on the top of page 179. Grant us peace, your most precious gift, O eternal source of peace, and give us the will to proclaim its message to all the peoples of the earth. Bless our country as a safeguard of peace, its advocate among the nations. May contentment reign within our borders, health and happiness within our homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship and fellowship among all the inhabitants of every land. Plant virtue in every soul, and may the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. Praised are you, Eternal One, who blesses our people with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, hamvarech et amo Yisrael b'shalom. The following reading is not in your prayer books. It's a prayer for the welfare and return of Israel's captured. May the one who blessed our ancestors Abraham and Sarah, Isaac and Rivka, Yaakov, Leah and Rachel, may God bless the captured and the many kidnapped citizens who are still being held in painful captivity in Gaza among them, along with all who are in captivity and distress. May it be your will, Adonai Tzvaot, God of hosts, to rescue and redeem these souls and return them swiftly to their families in the land of Israel. As it is written, thus said God, a cry is heard in Ramah, wailing, bitter weeping, Rachel weeping for her children. She refuses to be comforted. Now we continue with the Misha Beirach Get Well prayer, which you may find on page 371. May the one who blessed our ancestors Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal those who are ill. This evening we think of Phyllis Burlow, who just is recovering from shoulder surgery yesterday. Ellen Waldron, Jess Weinstone, Anna Singer. And at this time, if there are names of others you'd like us to keep in our hearts and our minds, we're prepared to recite the Mishaberach, Get Well prayer. And I say their names aloud as I look across the room.
Dana Safford and Susan Safford.
Gail Rothkopf,
Joelle Han,
Pumpkin Townsend, Declan Long,
Sharon Lippman, Gerald Lippman, Karen Pullman.
Linda Weissman, Sava Logan,
Letitia McCarr. Michael Nussbaum.
Mary Duffy,
Edmund Boudreau.
We think of all of those who are suffering around the world at this moment, either from wars or from illness. May the Blessed Holy One be filled with compassion for all of their health to be restored and all of their strength to be revived. May God swiftly send all of them a complete renewal of body and spirit. And let us say, Amen.
Misheberach Avotenu Mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberach imotenu Mekor habracha la'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
We pause for a moment of silent prayer. Now we continue with the singing of Osei Shalom, another song for peace, at the bottom of page 180.
Osei Shalom, Benoma, Uya Aseh Shalom, Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, V'imru, V'imru,
is that Anna, it would be more helpful if you sang an octave lower.
Same key he sings.
Oh.
She just wants to be able to sing with you up there.
Exactly.
Sing an octave lower and you can.
So, we are here this evening to celebrate our latest member of our Bernard Nelson Memorial Award Club, and I would like to invite up Val Jacobs, last year's Bernard Nelson Award recipient, to come on up and introduce this year's recipient.
Such a pleasure. First, I'm going to talk a little tiny bit about the history of the Bernard Nelson Award. Early in the 1920s, a Jewish organization founded in Woburn eventually formed a small temple on Green Street. The organization was called Temple Shalom Woburn Hebrew Center, and it existed for about 50 years. It was never a large temple and therefore depended mostly upon volunteers from within for its maintenance and subsistence. One member in particular was responsible for the leadership in more ways than one. Bernard Nelson, Woburn businessman, husband to Estelle, and father of 3 daughters, joined the temple and for many years was involved as a member of the board of directors. He worked his way through many board positions, including treasurer, vice president, and eventually became president. But in addition to the countless hours spent in the administration duties of the board, Bernie found an even more important gap in the temple and proceeded to fill it. The temple could not afford to hire a rabbi, and there were no spiritual leaders, no one to conduct Shabbat services or high holiday services. So adults and children could continue to observe the traditions of our great heritage. It was this spiritual gap that was recognized and filled by Bernie Nelson. He became the temple's lay leader. That meant appearing faithfully every Shabbat Eve, every holiday, every life cycle celebration, leading the prayers, chanting the chants, conducting services so Jews could remember how to be Jews. Bernie Nelson was not a trained cantor or rabbi. Yes, he could read Hebrew and sing well, but it was his determination that carried the temple throughout the years to the day in 1970 when, at his persuasion, it would merge with the Shashin Valley Jewish Community Center to become Temple Shalom Emeth, the strong, dynamic organization that we are now. Bernie Nelson left us much too soon. He was only in his 50s when death took him after a very short illness. Those of us who had worked with Bernie and shared his dreams knew that his perpetual commitment needed a perpetual memorial. And so the Bernard Nelson Memorial Award was born. The first award was presented on June 1st, 1974. So now I am honored to be able to welcome Bob and his family and introduce Bob Eisenstein, the recipient of the 2025 Bernard Nelson Award. Shortly after Bob joined the temple, Temple Shalom Emeth, he became a member of the security committee. The committee was formed in response to the multiple attacks on synagogues across the country. Bob's focus was to replace the front and social hall doors with security doors, as well as installing security cameras to make our building as safe as possible. This was a very large and time-intensive task. Bob worked diligently, meeting with many vendors to determine the best approach to be taken with the doors and the cameras. Bob's expertise and patience, a lot of patience was needed, led us to the appropriate vendors. Bob also worked with every vendor to oversee the the installation, as well as the installation of the security doors and the cameras. Once Bob had made significant improvements to our security, he began the beautification of our building and grounds. When Bob introduced the idea of working to beautify our building and grounds, I don't think any of us could have ever imagined the transformation that we were about to experience. Most amazingly to me, it's as soon as it soon became clear that Bob's beautification plans had taken root many months before Bob had completed his security work. As our security door vendor put the last finishing touches on our doors and was waving goodbye, Bob was ready to hit the ground running on our new, on the various projects that he had for beautifying our building. Let's start with the inside of the building. Bob wanted to remodel the kitchen and the social hall. First, Bob would need to determine why our roof occasionally leaked before he could replace the social hall ceiling. Once again, vendors, overseeing work, and the roof was made as stable as possible. It's very old. And before we know it, we were all enjoying a transformed, beautiful kitchen and social hall. Are you thinking that this would be a good time for Bob to take a break? No. Bob started on the outside of the building, again with a very clear vision of how to accomplish his work. Frequently, Mark and I would pull up to the temple, and either Mark or I would say, "The lawn looks beautiful," or the paving on the paving on the driveway here, the parking lot, it's all new. Look at the lines, it's beautiful. Or we might say, "I love the patio and the benches." Bob also remodeled the little house after replacing the front and back steps. I've mentioned many of the projects that Bob has completed as chair of the House Committee, for which our entire community is extremely grateful. Our gratitude for Bob has an additional dimension. Bob frequently attends Shabbat services, is always happy to do a reading during the high holiday services, greets everybody with a warm smile and a friendly word, and is the first to offer help to any of us. Bob is also the first to say that he and Andy Rittenberg worked together to accomplish many of the temple projects. Whether it was updating the board or chatting at a no-nay, Bob was always describing the work that he and Andy had accomplished. Thank you, Andy. Bob, thank you for being such a kind, respected, talented, and loved member of our temple. And we are so happy to present you with the Bernard Nelson Award. See if I can open this up. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
And then we have also
That's great.
Thank you. All right, nice.
Well, thank you all very much for this recognition and for the wonderful meal we've just enjoyed. It's a great honor to be included among the other Bernard Nelson awardees who have contributed so much to Temple Shalom Emeth. Before I go any further, I want to thank in particular Andy Rittenberg for all that he has done to advance our efforts over the last several years. It has been a lot. And out of that, a true friendship has also emerged. Others too have been ready to help. Hal Torman, Jeff Nussbaum, and Matt Paulson in particular, not to mention Rabbi Abramson, Robin Frisch, Andy Feit, Shelley Rosenbaum-Littman, and Ken Lifton. I've wondered over the years where this deep spirit of fellowship and goodwill comes from. Indeed, it extends well beyond the walls of this building into the community at large through many, many acts of charity and goodwill. The fact is that, led by Rabbi Abramson, our beloved TSE has self-assembled into a temple that has these virtues among its core values. This is something we should be deeply grateful for. And I have no doubt that it is contagious, at least within the TSE community. My own efforts here have certainly been spurred on by the example of others. As one approaches retirement and elder age, one often hears that one of the hardest things about it is to find ways of meaningful engagement and feelings of relevance. I have found that to be true, but I'm also glad to say that my efforts at TSE have deferred those feelings at least for 6 years. In closing, I want to thank my dear wife, Carolyn, for indulging my many hours away from home and pursuing my TSE commitments, and our beloved sons, Daniel from Bedford and Bill from Albany, California, for joining us here tonight. Family, including the temple, is everything. Thank you.
Don't forget your plant.
I'll come back with that.
Okay. First of all, I'd like to say thanks a lot, Val. You stole every single thing I was gonna say. Bob sent me with his remarks, and from now on, I'm gonna have whoever's speaking before me send me theirs. If I were to ask most congregational rabbis how often they interact with their vice president of house, the vast majority would say never or rarely. If they were to ask me that question, I would say at least 4 or 5 times a week. If they were to ask me why in the world I would have so many occasions to need to speak with the vice president of house, I would say, well, you never met Bob Eisenstein. For most of my time at the temple prior to Bob's assuming this position, I have to admit that when someone made an appointment to see the temple, I would immediately apologize before they walked through the door. I would implore them to look beyond what they were seeing around them and believe me that it was not reflective of the spirit of our community. For the first 35 or so years that I was the rabbi here, I could count on one hand the number of bar mitzvah receptions that family chose to have in our social hall. They would always politely decline, or not so politely inform me that they wanted their child's big party to be elsewhere. After many years of total and complete dedication to fixing and renovating nearly every square inch of all 3 of our buildings, with the help of a couple of very generous anonymous donors and Andy Rittenberg, Bob has put innumerable hours, lots of physical, emotional, and psychic energy into creating a space we can all be proud of. Thanks to his efforts, I now proudly show our building off to all who enter. Over the past couple of years, every bar mitzvah family has chosen to have their reception in our social hall. People voting with their feet, that's what it's all about. When Bob took on this position 6 years ago, he didn't approach it as a board position. He saw it as his personal mission. He put his heart and soul into every improvement, every project, every detail of every aspect of all 3 buildings, not to mention the grounds. I can't count how many times I walked into the social hall and with my heart in my throat as I saw Bob high up on a ladder about to change a ceiling tile. I think at one point we had to forbid him from climbing onto the roof to check for leaks. He was the one who made sure every detail of the social hall and kitchen renovations took place properly in every way. He insisted that every project meet his high standards, and if not, he would insist upon changing them until they did. Dayenu, it would have been enough if he raised the level of our main temple building and the grounds around it, but he has overseen innumerable renovations in the Mount Hope building. The little house, or the yellow house, we keep fighting about what the name is, has been at least a part-time job of his for the past year. I think he repaired and replaced every single surface, sometimes more than once, as well as working with Andy to work on the parking lot lighting. No job has been too big or too small for Bob. Whenever I would call to say something like the water cooler wasn't working, Bob would more often than not jump into his car no matter what time of day or night and head over or call Andy, his partner, in all of these endeavors. Whenever we needed a major repair, he would dutifully get 3 bids or suggest a contractor he knew and trusted because he didn't want anyone touching any part of our building who he didn't trust. Bob has always been a total pleasure to work with and a total team player. Even repairs and improvements, which I considered to be small potatoes, he would insist on bringing them before the board to make sure he got buy-in from everybody, to make sure everybody was on board with the improvement. Our innumerable calls have always been a total delight, sprinkled with enjoyable conversations on any and every topic, from how things are going at his new residence, to my son and particularly my dog. His love for our temple community has always been abundantly clear, and I so enjoy watching him at services almost every Friday night, beaming as he is now, particularly whenever a child walked into the sanctuary, let alone participate in the service in any way. Some leaders lead from the front, have a lot to say, or try to direct everyone around them. Bob is that rare leader who, without fanfare, has had a transformative influence on our congregation by quietly, efficiently, meticulously getting every job done. I know this position has been a win-win for Bob and for us. I'm grateful that he saw all the work he put into our congregation as a way of giving his life purpose, as he said, and fulfillment in his retirement years. This week's Torah portion, Korah, Kadoshim, begins with the words, Kadoshim Tihiyu, you shall be holy, for I, the Lord your God, am holy. This is followed by the listing of dozens of mitzvot. God tells the Israelites that the way to sanctify ourselves and make ourselves holy is through doing good deeds. Bob, you are the perfect exemplar of the type of leader who reflects these values of mitzvot on behalf of our congregation as well as the Torah, someone who constantly does mitzvot and cares deeply about our Jewish community. You have more than earned this prestigious award. Mazel tov to you, Carolyn, Daniel, and Bill on this very special occasion. And P.S., don't think that this is any sort of goodbye. I know you're going to be back on the job tomorrow morning. And so I think with that, we are going to say Mazel tov to you, and we're going to sing to you Siman Tov and Mazel Tov.
Join in with Siman Tov. Here we go. Siman Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Siman Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Siman Tov, Siman Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Siman Tov. Siman Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Siman Tov, Siman Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Siman Tov. Hey lanu, hey lanu, Ule Kol Yisrael. Hey lanu, Ule Kol Yisrael. Hey lanu, Ule Kol Yisrael. Hey lanu, Ule Kol Yisrael.
congratulations again to all of you for being here, and congratulations to all of us for a wonderful new addition to this great committee. And now we're going to continue our service with the Elenu on page 586. I'd like to invite your sons Daniel and Bill to come on up and open the Ark curtain. Please rise and body your spirit.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים, לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
Please be seated.
And please join me at the top of page 588. שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסר הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגבי מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, כך כתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשבות אל לבביך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, והארץ מתחת, אין עוד. And please turn to page 591 and join me in our contemporary version of B'nai Emar and Bayom Hahu. You may shake along. B'nai Emar, V'haya Adonai, V'melech al kol haaretz. Bayom Hahu, Yihye Adonai, Echad u'shemo echad. נאמר, והיה אדוני, ומלך על כל הארץ. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני, אחד ושמו אחד. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני, אחד ושמו אחד. נאמר, והיה אדוני, ומלך על כל הארץ. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני, אחד ושמו אחד. אחד ושמו אחד. אחד ושמו
The introduction to the Kaddish prayer for those who have died may be found on page 599. We think now of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died at this season in years past, and those whom we have drawn into our hearts with our own. We recall Aviva Abishouse, who died during this past month. We add to her name the names of those whose yahrzeits or anniversary of whose deaths occur this week. Simon Vilner, Bernice Brown, Kate Spector, Alan Smilowitz, Lenore Waldron, Cheryl Currier, Claire D. Fowler. We also think of those who have died defending the state of Israel this past week. this past month and year, and those innocent people who have died in the middle of this horrible conflict. And at this time, if there are names of others you'd like us to keep in our hearts and our minds, we prepare to recite the Kaddish. You may say the names aloud or in your hearts as I look across the room.
Gene Housen. Richard Luber.
Buddy Block.
Zichronam Livracha, may all of their memories be for a blessing. We turn to page 598 and rise in any way possible for the Kaddish prayer. Yitgadal, Yitgadash, Shnei Rabbah, B'yamad Yivrach Yirutei, B'yamlid Malchutei, B'chai Echon, B'yamei Echon, B'chai Echol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agalah B'yizman Kari B'yimru Amen. Yehi Shnei Rabbah Mevarach L'olam Olmei Almaya. Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yitpa'ar V'yitramam V'yitnaseh. V'yithadar V'yitalev V'yitalal Shmei Dekudesha B'richu. Le'ela Min Kol Birchata V'shirata Tushbachata V'nechamata Da'amiran B'yalman V'yimru Amen. Yehi Shlama Rabba Min Shmaya V'chayim Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael V'yimru Amen. Oseh Shalom B'mramav Hu Yaseh Shalom Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael V'yimru Amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us, to our country, to Israel, to all Israel and all the world, as we say together, Amen. Please be seated. And now I'd like to call in Michael Singer, who may or may not have the announcements. Looks like you do.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. So, Mazel Tov, Bob. This is awesome. Caroline, Bill, Daniel, welcome. Glad you're here. Good to see you again. Val, as the past recipient, thank you for organizing tonight's events. Bob, to warn you, you get this pleasure next year. I was very surprised when I found it all on my shoulders some 10 years ago. When I think of the Bernie Nelson Award, I look at all the people in the room who have earned that recognition, and I think of how many different skill sets and dedications to this community that everybody's contributed. And in many ways, I think that's the power of the acknowledgement. Certainly, my wife will attest, I sent my hammer back to Home Depot because there was no instructions on where to hold it. Okay, I also want to give a congratulations and a shout out to the religious school, the leadership teachers and students. They just wrapped up their religious school year. They had a fabulous year, and congratulations to everybody involved with that. When we take a look at the upcoming temple calendar, next week, May 16th, we will have our graduating high school seniors in the Getman Award. The following 2 weeks are going to be simple Shabbat services. June 6th, we're looking forward to the confirmation class with the confirmations of Luke DeBrava, Sophie Grossman, and Eden Snyder. And on June 13th, we're going to have a special Shabbat service. It's going to be the bar mitzvah of Yoni Shaberia. And Shaberla. Okay, can't read my hand, buddy. My apologies, Yoni. This is going to be sort of exciting. I can't remember the last time we had a Friday night Shabbat bar mitzvah here. So please, everybody, come and enjoy with Yoni and the family. The Social Justice Committee is going to be organizing a postcard writing campaign. They're looking for people to help write postcards, but also to lead and coordinate the event. So if anybody's interested in that honor, please contact Phyllis Neufeld. The Ping Pong Club meets on Thursday. No skill required. I can vouch for that. Contact Michael Finkel if you've got any interest or details. The TSE Tikva Support Group is going to be meeting May 22. That's 2 weeks off. And this group is great for discussing the Middle East crisis, the current political climate, in general, whatever's on your mind. It's a safe place to discuss. Moving right along, it's not in the weekly announcements yet, but the Temple Shalom Emeth General Meeting is coming up. Our May meeting is a very important meeting for the lifeblood of the temple. It's when the board is elected, re-elected, reinstalled, pick your right phrase. But we also review and approve the temple budget for fiscal year 25-26. So this is a wonderful opportunity to find out who's assuming some roles of leadership here and how we're going to be spending what money we have. Tree of Life leaves are available. They're starting to be repopulated. Jeff Nussbaum has a stack about this high of leaves. He'd love to sell one to everybody, or 2 or 3. So contact him. For more details on activities, they'll be in the weekly announcements. Okay, thank you. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Good job, Michael. And one challenge I have, Bob, with you and your sons is that you all make me feel very short. I'm not used to feeling short, but again, Mazal tov to all of you, and you can see how many smiling faces there are out there, because I just want you to know that we all appreciate you so very much.
Thank you very much.
And and we have a wonderful Oneg Shabbat that the committee has provided as well after the service, and we had a great dinner beforehand. So I think that's it. I just wanted to oh yes, Val.
I just wanted, I had kind of a bad week, I hurt my back, and I was talking to Tina, saying that we'd meet at the temple to get the dinner set up, and she said, oh no, just come, at the dinner time, you don't have to come and set up. And she said, Fran will help, both Bernard Nelson Witters, and I just wanted to, wherever you are, I just wanted to say thank you, because it was a huge help. And I usually say, no, and this time I said, thank you, and thank you so much and again, Bernard Nelson Witters, so you can't go wrong with the Bernard Nelson Witters.
It's a good group for stuff like that. They're good for a lot. Yeah, and I just wanted to highlight, so we've got a lot of special services coming up, a lot of graduations and everything, and so Jeremy's got, didn't quite hit for the cycle, but one of his sons, Hayden, is graduating from high school, so we're gonna honor him next week, and then Jacob is having, no, nothing. He's in the 9th grade, never mind. He's our chauffeur blower, so that's enough of a thing for now. But on June 13th, as Michael said, so the Shabrola family, they've been members for maybe 4 or 5 years, and they're originally from the former Soviet Union, and then they moved to Israel for a number of years, and now they've moved to, they've been living in Bedford. Anyway, they have absolutely no family here at all, and very few friends. So this is where our congregation needs to step up and come to Yoni's bar mitzvah, because I offered Friday night to them as an alternative, so that we would get all of our temple members to come to celebrate with Yoni his bar mitzvah. So that'll really be a mitzvah if you can be here that evening, and they're very excited about the fact that they'll have their community celebrating that wonderful event with them. So now we're going to continue with the Kiddush on bottom of page 122. Bob, Daniel, and Bill, come on up to lead us in the Kiddush. Please rise and body your spirit. Nothing.
The heaven and the earth were finished, and all their array. On the seventh day, God finished the work that God had been doing, and God ceased on the seventh day from all the work that God had done. And God blessed the seventh day and declared it holy, because on it God ceased from all the work of creation that God had done.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodesho b'yahava uvratzon inchilanu, zikaron l'maaseh Bereshit, ki hu yom tehila lemikra kodesh, zecher litziat Mitzrayim, ki banu v'acharta, yotanu kidashta, mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodshecha, yava uvratzon, inchaltanu, Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh hashabbat. Amen. Chaim.
L'chaim.
L'chaim.
It was a good week for Shabbat. Please be seated. Actually, I need you guys up here for the motzi. You can go, you can sit down. All right, well, all three of you then. I have to, it's just, I'm just getting a kick out of this, all three of you are gonna hold. Because I think it's not often that we have a Harvard professor of astrophysics and a computer scientist doing the motzi for us.
And that's the highest the motzi has been above the floor in a long time. Ready to sing? Motzi lechem min haaretz, we give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise in song together as our joyful prayer is said. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's time for our closing song, but I also just want to add my personal congratulations to Bob and mention one other thing which nobody has talked about, another dimension in him until the rabbi did just briefly mention it now, and something that also has resulted again in his showing care and consideration and friendship and generosity in ways that he is so well known for doing. And that is that Bob had a very distinguished, with all the his skills in the temple, and he's also had a very distinguished career as a physicist, right? And worked for the government for a long time, mostly in the DC area. And as such, he has shown a lot of interest in my son, who is a math and major, who's also getting into physics as well. And over the past few months especially, and even maybe a year or two ago, Bob has asked me a lot about Sam and talked to him when he was here, and has given us several times some books that he thought Sam would like, real great classics in both math and physics. And we really appreciate that, and it's been another aspect of Bob's experience and personality, which has been great to get to know. So, with that, I think we should join in a song. We have a song called "The World of Your Dreams," which is on the back of your leaflets. A song that Debbie Friedman wrote, which we sing from time to time. It comes from a passage, is it in the Torah or is it light of Torah, and your face be radiant as the brightness of the sky. May your lips speak words of wisdom. May the world you live in be the world of your dreams. May you see your world created in your lifetime. May you see your vision come to be. May your hope touch every generation to come. These are the prayers we have for you. May your eyes shine with the light of Torah, and your face be radiant as the brightness of the sky. May your lips speak words of wisdom. May the world you live in be the world of your dreams. May you be blessed with understanding, with wonder and compassion in your heart. May your tongue be filled with song, and your lips sing out for justice. These are the prayers we have for you. May your eyes shine with the light of Torah, and your face be radiant as the brightness of the sky. May your lips speak words of wisdom. May the world you live in be the world of your dreams. May the world you live in be the world of your dreams.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Bernard Nelson winners, come on up and stand around Bob for a picture.
Center. No.